What do you have for us on the state of the Dodgers right this second in terms of preparations for the postseason? Because that's really the theme all year for this team, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this 4-game win streak certainly a healthy vibe changer for the Dodgers, and they needed it. They had lost 7 of 8. They were losing seemingly every game to losing teams or last place teams. You saw that road trip start. The Pirates swept them. It looked like the Orioles may do that as well, but they avoided that. And so this 4-game run here and the way they've won these 4 games has really been encouraging because this summer undoubtedly has been disappointing in Dodgerland. And the criticisms and concerns levied toward this team, totally fair because it isn't just a small stretch. Like you go back to the 4th of July, they've been one of the 3 or 4 worst teams in all of Major League Baseball. And so that's no small thing. But to your point, which is the biggest one, it is and has always been about October for this team. Now, they might have to play an extra series because of the way this summer has gone. They may find themselves in a wild card series, but the way that the starting pitching has been dominating, not just doing a good job or doing well, they have been dominating of late. And the way that Mookie Betts has rediscovered himself and the way that guys are now coming back healthy, it certainly has given some wind to the sails of this team as you head to the final, 2 weeks and change of the regular season.
Is there nerves, though, in Dodger land because they've been just trouncing the Rockies? I know they were losing to them before, but this resurgence came on the heels of playing, in my opinion, a better Orioles team. But the Dodgers were finding a way to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. And that's how that series went. All of that surrounding that, they were losing on the road. Now they could be that wild card team that may not have that division, may not have that home field. I think they're still going to get the home field. I think the Padres are even worse off than the Dodgers. But is that fear of playing on the road more fearful than anything else, than any of the other problems that they've had coming up to this point?
No, honestly, I do think that the road struggles and the road record are more coincidental than anything. Like they were playing road games at a time where the team was just not playing good ball, not clean baseball, not smart baseball. And I think you said it fairly. Like they were finding ways to lose games. And that's something Dave Roberts said multiple times during the summer is like, that's a game we can't lose. We found a way to give that. We gave that game away. And those are things that you're not accustomed to hearing. There is this weird emotional juxtaposition in the minds of Dodger fans because over the last dozen years, right, they're trying for a 12th division title in a 13-year stretch. There has been a level of dominance as well to that. And it got to the point where I think a lot of fans said, I don't care about the National League West anymore. It's just about the World Series. And that's something that the team addresses day one of spring training. It is about winning a World Series title. If not, everything else is a failure. They addressed that elephant in the room day one at Camelback Ranch in Glendale. But these last 2 years, with the division race being tighter, they didn't clinch it until the last series against San Diego in 2024, and they still almost got knocked out in the division series. And then certainly this year, as they're on track to barely scratch 90 wins, now it's like, well, wait. Now they're longing for those days where they're winning the division by 15, 20 games and coasting into the postseason. But I think that ultimately this will be a healthy thing for them, Kratzy. I think to kind of be humbled, not that the guys in the clubhouse were braggadocious. I'm just saying generally, where it's like, okay, this isn't just going to be a cakewalk. Not that any of them thought baseball of all sports was going to be a cakewalk, but for them to be like, wow, we're really having to fight and scratch and claw for every single win, no matter the record of the opponent across the field. I feel that is a big thing, not just for the Dodgers, really any team that's playing for postseason ball. So I tried to address the team and your question about the fans. I do think that there is some angst and some nervousness because the last 10 plus years they're normally getting ready to clinch in the middle of September, and that's not the case these last 2 seasons.
I think they're honestly giving every team the okey doke right now. They're just baiting them all in, take your wins, and then boom. Once the playoff hits, it's like flipping a switch, in my opinion. But
I hear
who
you,
cares?
Frage, and like I think like the other aspect of that is they're getting every team's best haymaker. I remember
Yeah.
watching you guys when Logan O'Hoppe was on after the Angels swept the most recent Freeway Series, and he talked about not being able to go to sleep after those games. Like that's how turned
Mm.
up I would say most opponents are for the Dodgers throughout the year. So I remember Mookie Betts got a ton of crap after the Fan Fest last year, where he's like, "We're going to be every team's World Series," and everyone's like, "How can you say something like that?" I think Mookie's been vindicated and validated in what he has said, to be honest, over the last 2 years.
Yeah, agreed. Now, onto the pitching a little bit. I mean, they've had 39 different pitchers. We know injuries are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
How would you talk about this pitching staff? Give me something that you said, I mean, that's going to make this Dodger town feel okay. Like, where would you put them? Like, what is your thoughts on all this pitching, and how are they going to bode well come playoff time?
Well, something that Andrew Friedman, Dodgers president of baseball operations, and Brandon Gomes, their GM, that they have said throughout this year is that they're going to have a chance to take their best 13-man pitching staff into the postseason that they've ever had. And the Dodgers have had some really good staffs. But the fact that you now have Yamamoto, who's starting tonight against Justin Verlander, you have Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell healthy, Clayton Kershaw. I don't know how to explain him in year 18, just continuing to be a master of run prevention, and Emmett Sheehan, the way he has come on. I mean, that's just the starting staff, and I didn't even mention Shohei Ohtani. So I think that there is a lot of confidence, given that those guys are, feeling physically good right now and throwing the ball well, that no matter what series they find themselves in, they're going to have a shot every single night. Now, the bullpen has shown some leaks throughout the year. There have been a lot of dudes back there thrust into a lot of different positions. They have had to deal with some injuries. So I think that right now, if I were to try to guess how fans are feeling, I would think that they're most concerned about the back end of the bullpen. But the way the starters look right now, it has buoyed the confidence level, and understandably so, because that is, I mean, any single one of those dudes can shove a night to night. So, I the way I put it when people ask about the Dodgers, I think they will go as their big dogs go. It starts with the triumvirate at the top of the lineup. It really is not a complicated formula for them to win games. Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, those are their big guys. And then they're all-stars who have to alternate being all-stars. Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, and then which glue guy finds a way to put a drop in the bucket to win a ball game that night. Like it's really that simple.
FT fam, let's talk about Fair Harbor. And if you're listening, I hope that you watch this conversation at some point, because we're doing show and tell, Kratz. Shorts, they can be used as a bathing suit, and the liner, which we call butter, is the game breaker. It's the playmaker, because it's different.
You've worn shorts that are not like this, and the liner sucks. They are buttery on your butt.
I just came up with something for them. Your liner sucks. Get Fair Harbor liner. Seriously, give it a shot. I'm not just saying this. The butter analogy plays. And FT fam, you know we're hooking you up. So head over to fairharborclothing.com/foul20. Yes, that's FOUL 20 for 20% off your order. Once again, that's fairharborclothing.com/FOUL20 for 20% off. And make sure you use that promo code FOUL20.
Is Dave Roberts going to change his and the Dodgers' approach because of, in my opinion, how good the rotation is right now? These guys are hammering out innings. They are dominant. And when you get to the bullpen, it could be one of their more shaky areas. And Doc and the front office, who creates the game plan for the postseason, have been really resistant to going to their starter for a sixth inning, for a seventh inning if needed. Are they going to change that approach? Are they going to do more of like a read it on the field?
I would think so. I think given what we saw last year with the Dodgers' run to the World Series, where they basically had 2.5 starting pitchers, right? I mean, things were pretty bleak from a starting pitching standpoint going into October, because you had Jack Flaherty, acquired at the deadline, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto was coming off an injury, right? You weren't quite sure how much he was going to be able to give you. And so they leaned on their bullpen, the bullpen dogs back there, and they led them to a World Series championship. And now the chemistry and the calculus has changed here in 2025 because the rotation is nasty. The rotation is healthy as we sit here right now. And the bullpen has a couple more question marks, not in terms of talent, but I would say right now, just in terms of confidence and execution. In those guys who have the backs of their baseball cards look like that for a reason for all those guys. But for whatever reason, one or another throughout this year, they've had their struggles. So I would say what Doc, the staff, and the front office showed everybody last year is that they're going to do what needs to be done, and they're going to lean on the guys who can get them a win. And so if that's pushing the starters a little bit, then I think you're going to see that. But given the experience that this clubhouse, this coaching staff, and this front office has, getting into and through a postseason, I think they have shown time and again that they'll be flexible. Because if the guys in the back end aren't getting it done, then you're going to have to ride those starting horses. You just have to, Kratz. It's by hook or by crook. You find a way.
Okay. So one more rotation question. What do you think is more likely? Shohei Ohtani pitching into the 6th in the playoffs, or Clayton Kershaw starting the game over Shohei Ohtani?
Wow. That is an excellent situational question, Kratzy. I would say my internet's cutting out, guys. So I'm gonna have to hop out of here. No. Because no matter how you answer that question, there is like this feeling of I'm doubting one of the greatest to ever do it, right? Because it's like, okay, well, the Dodgers have been pretty steadfast and resolute in how they have handled Shohei as a pitcher this year. They're not going to push him. We've seen him go 5. But really it's been that, 3, 4 and 2/3 kind of stretch. And then Clayton Kershaw, you want to be like, all right, like back 9 of his career, like year 18, how much has he got left? And then you look at his numbers and you're like, it's still Kersh. I mean, the fastball is scratching 90 and he's still finding ways to go 5 2/3, 6 shutout innings and still punching tickets. He's just they're two different types of unicorns, those two. So to your question, all right, can I like play into this hypothetical and ask a question back to you? Is this a wild card series? Is this a division series? Is this a short series? Is this a 7-game series? Let me ask you.
This is game 5. This is game 5. They're down.
Oh, okay. 7-game series. Sorry.
DS. Game 5. DS.
So this is win or go home.
This is win or go home. Yamamoto clearly isn't going to be able to come back on 5 days rest. He hasn't done it ever in the history of Yamamoto baseball. So it has to be one of those two guys.
Did Show pitch in the wild card series if they were in it?
No.
I'll go with Show. I'll go with Show going 6. That's I love this. This is really fun. I'll say Shohei going 6 innings, because if it's win or go home, you want to go down with your absolute best, your best bullet. And that, again, see, when I say that now, you'll be like, wait, Clayton Kershaw's not your absolute best? No, he's going to have a statue in Dodger Stadium one day. And he is you can argue, the best to ever do it, preventing runs. But I just think if Shohei's fresh and there is no tomorrow, then you throw him out there and you ride him as long as he'll take you. Yeah. So I appreciate you humoring the back and forth there. I enjoyed that.
My one thing on this, Nelly,
Yeah.
Ohtani's got better stuff. I mean, we can
Yeah.
be clear cut about that now. Obviously, Kershaw vintage, different story. Kershaw now will admit the same way. He's a different guy.
But it's the same results. Stop with the stuff.
It's not. It's different in the playoffs. I want my best stuff in the playoffs.
Don't do that. Don't give the Kershaw. Don't give the Kershaw
really
narrative. The Dodgers are looking to get 27 outs. Kershaw has never not given them quality outs up until a certain point. Because Kershaw had this like aura about him, they would never take him out and they would let him hang out to dry. I don't think he has that aura, and they would take him out. You could get 4 shutout from Kershaw because that's all he's ever done.
And you could, and I think you could see a piggyback situation in that particular scenario. So because
coming out of the pen.
No,
I mean,
Ohtani's not coming out of the pen. He can't do that.
I don't think Show comes out of the pen. If you're gonna have anybody piggyback, you would probably ask Kersh to do it because he has.
I saw him come out of the pen. Game 7 NLCS. He shut us out. He shut us down in the last inning or 2 innings. He came out of the pen. I think even against the Nationals in 18, he shut us down, and then I think he did it like 2 years before, a year before.
So yeah, I just think, and then you have a different look, right? Not only going right, left, it's just you're speeding up, slowing down kind of thing. I think so. I mean, that's the cheat answer is like piggyback. But if you're asking me to pick one, I'll go with Show.